What's up, y'all? My name is Travii. Pronouns are she, her, they, them. I am GNC, which is gender nonconforming. I am from Chicago, South Side, yeah. So I came to Atlanta in 2018. Back in Chicago, it was not a safe space for me to be the doll, you know. It was a time where I needed to get away. I felt like if I stayed in Chicago, I probably would not be here. I went to church one day, and out of nowhere, the pastor called me up to the altar and told me, laying hands over me. So I'm thinking for me, I thought it was a prophetic word that maybe the pastor needed for me, or was going to give to me. And the pastor told me, until God releases those demonic spirits, you can no longer serve in the church. It was because one of the members of the church saw my social media and saw that I had makeup on. And so they asked me, then was I gay? And that's when I told them I wasn't ashamed of who I was. I told them yes. My grandmother served in the church as one of the elders, so her position sat right under the apostle. And so we had to be this picture perfect family. And so my grandma had the conversation with my mom, which my mom had this harsh conversation with me, which led into, you know what, it can't be two queens in the same household, so one of us has to go. And so that, and in the end result, ended up being me, and I had to go. At the time, I was in a dance company, so I had friends that were part of the family scene in Chicago. The family scene is kind of like the ballroom scene. And so they introduced me to my very first chosen mother, which is Megan Ebony. She took me in and she helped me. I also found out my HIV status. It was very hurtful because when I went in for testing, the doctor told me that I had syphilis, gonorrhea, and HIV. And so I was kind of taken back by it because I was not educated on absolutely nothing, none of this at all. And it was no compassion behind her letting me know what my status was. When she told me that, she was like, "Do you want care?" And in that, I'm like, "You don't even explain to me what care is or what care looks like." I decided to go into a support group program, which was at the Village of University of Chicago. During that time, my chosen mother, she was telling me about the support groups at the Village. And so I was going to just get an understanding of what does care look like, what is STIs, what is HIV. And it led me to having a job at the Village where I was working in a drop-in center. I didn't have that family support. Outside of my chosen mother, I didn't have a family support, so I decided to get up and just try to find that safe space for myself. So 2018, I made the decision to move to Atlanta. I did get into care. I got into care at Positive Impact. So I got my labs drawn, got my meds, got everything taken care of, but I did not have a job. And so I needed to survive. I went to a JSAT competition. And they was doing free entry for testing. And I already knew my status, but I didn't have no money. And so I decided to go in and to get tested. And so the guy named Martinez was the one that tested me, and he was like, "I'm sorry to say, but you HIV positive." And I was like, "Yeah, I know, but are y'all hiring?" I got an offer letter in my email asking me to start that following Monday. And I literally been working for NASM ever since then. I had a best friend who actually lost their life due to HIV complications. It hurt me so much because I came open to them about my status. I came open to them about just the trials and just the things that I was going through. And I didn't even know that they were suffering in silence. And it wasn't until I got the phone call letting me know what was happening and what was the cause of the death. And it broke me so because I felt like during that time I was being selfish because it was me. And I do this work for Denzel, and I do this work for each and everybody that needs a safe space. This work that I do for my community is honestly being dedicated to him, because I never want anybody to suffer in silence. I don't ever want anybody to even go through what I've been through. And if I can be that ear of listening, if I can be the voice, if I can be that vessel, then allow me to do that work. And that's why for me, that's why I never left this field, you know. And so I'm grateful that I can go in these spaces and be my authentic self, and allow them to see that I was the light at the end of the road. And you can be the light at the end of the road as well too. So